What's going down, everybody? This is your favorite homeboy Jethro, and these are some more of my opinions. So, the world is just crazier than a shithouse rat eating a Snickers bar. I don't understand why the country and the politicians have such a disconnect between what happened during the last 4 years and what happened during the election. It's not disputed. Between 10 and 20 million people came into this country undocumented, illegally, like use whatever 1984. This is what the breakdown of vocabulary and language does to a society. It limits your ideas. And so whatever, newspeak word you want to use, these people came here at the end of the day illegally. When the news tries to say, or the judges, every person in America deserves a hearing. Not really. Like, we have the laws in place. The law doesn't say, if you come here illegally, you get a hearing. The law says if you come here illegally, you get deported. What are we supposed to do? Give 20 million people 20 million hearings and trials? Like, it's not feasible. And anyone who argues for that is just being a dishonest or disingenuous person. It's not realistic. The midterms are going to be so ridiculously bad for the Democrats, I think, because just look at all the NGOs that have been shut down by Doge. I mean, basically a circular money laundering operation for the left side of the aisle. Money goes from the federal government in the form of a grant to A. A takes 10% and then passes it along to B. B takes 10%, passes it along to C. C takes 10%, passes it along to D. D takes 10%, passes it along to E. And then E donates, after taking their cut, back to the political candidate that was responsible for passing the legislation that gave them the grant in the first place. I mean, it's fucking brilliant. I'll give them credit. And when everybody's in on it, no one's allowed to ask questions, and nothing happens. And boy, you can really see who the people that are paid off and hurting from this by the level of objections that they have. Because the last time I checked, everybody who runs a business or whatnot does audits and likes to know where their money goes, and we're not. Why the same people that are screaming and hollering about Doge and the fraud and waste, they wanted to hire 80,000 new IRS agents with guns to squeeze every fucking penny they could out of John and Jane Q. Public. Makes sense. I'm crazy, but it kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, it's a terrible habit, but fuck it, we all gotta die from something, right? Lord, I don't get how people just don't understand. But I will say this. I saw something today with, I love Benny and all of his stuff, but he had, I think, my guy from Kentucky on, the congressman, saying that the Epstein files have been destroyed. It's like, huh, okay. First of all, fuck that. Don't tell me that one of these assholes doesn't have a backup briefcase with a whole bunch of shit on a flash drive as a just in case I get fucked happens. All right? So don't tell me they're destroyed. People have it. All right? Comey, Christopher Reyes, all these guys, all the ex-FBI directors, all the CIA people. Here's the deal. We have video evidence of what you took out of Epstein's house, all right? From the news and everything else, we got pictures of boxes and boxes and boxes of shit. Who signed for it? Because here's the deal. You're either producing the documents or people are going to jail 15 to life. So, here, like, this is unacceptable. And I know, like I said, I really hope, again, if I was Trump, I'd probably hold on to the juiciest bits and blackmail everybody for the rest of time to make sure that Barron's grandkids or the Trump name is remembered and they're okay. And, how can you be mad at somebody playing the game better than anybody else? But there's things that are right and there's things that are wrong. And we're never going to have a chance to break the syndicate like we do right now. The cabal, like whatever they call them in the blacklist, the Illuminati, whatever, like the bankers and the corrupt pieces of shit that run the world behind the invisible cloak that us peons and regular people aren't allowed to see. It's like, why they try to kill him? Because he's bucking the system. But there's a lot of information and it's time. And we're not gonna, the files disappeared. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. Not this time. And if JD and the rest of y'all want our support after this, quit fucking around. We're not joking. I am as far to the right as you can get on the military, taxes, like most things. Now when it comes to the social side of things, and this is where everyone has us all confused. Like, dude, if you feel you were born in the wrong body and you need to dress a certain way and be called a certain name, I could care less. Whatever. Do you live a good life? Like you said, but don't try to, if you don't have twigs and berries, you don't try and change with people that don't have twigs and berries. All right? You change with people that have twigs and berries until the day you don't have twigs and berries. All right? And that's just how it is. Agree, disagree, I don't care. That's my personal viewpoint. It's like I said, and if I had a daughter, I'd be damned if some dude with 5 o'clock shadow put on a dress and some mascara and tried to go change in the changing room with her. Said, you got a problem with that? It's fine. I'm cool with us having a problem like that. But does everybody who breaks our laws and comes here illegally deserve a hearing? No. And if the Democrats want to die on this hill, they can, but I've got really bad news for you. If you want to see how people are feeling, the white lady that said the very bad thing has raised quite a bit of money. Why is that? Because I think people, how many videos have I seen of people telling us Trump supporters that we don't deserve to celebrate Cinco de Mayo? It's a bunch of hypocrisy. Because if someone like me, who's a Trump supporter, came on and made a video telling any group of non-white people, like non-white, cis, heterosexual, white male, if I told any group like that you don't deserve the right to celebrate anything, I would be castigated and ridiculed and berated and told that I'm all kinds of igots and isms and just a horrible person. Like, and it sucks, man, because it didn't have to be this way. again, people my age, like, I find it, again, not hilarious, but, I grew up, you know, I grew up listening to, Dr. Dre's The Chronic was the first CD I ever bought. Have I listened to Tupac's Hail Mary and sung all the words in my car? You damn right I have. Have I listened to Bone Thugs and Harmony and sung dozens of their songs and said all the words? I have. But the same people and the same, prognosticators would tell me that because I've sung those lyrics that I'm a racist. When I'm a fan, what am I supposed to do? It's just, you can't have it both ways. And we've had a lot of there's been horrific things that a lot of people have felt guilty over that they had nothing to, I'm sorry, anyone in the 90s, I remember when the Rodney King thing happened. That was ridiculous. And when those cops didn't get any punishment whatsoever, that's why LA nearly burned to the ground, and those people had an absolute right to be upset. Should they burn the city down? No, but I understand why, because it was such a eye-opening experience, and change did need to happen. But then you have a case recently where a kid stole a car, had a gun, pointed it at officers, and the officers gave him the eternal nap because of his actions. What are the police supposed to do with a guy stealing a car with a gun? Are they just supposed to, oh, well, I mean, shit could happen, so we're just going to let him go? That's not... If you do that, what's to stop everybody from stealing a fucking car? Don't you get it? But because of that, the kid's father, who I understand, I would want, if someone had killed my son, I would want the world to burn too, probably. But he went and ran over a retired sheriff who was volunteering. If you're really experiencing that horrific pain of losing a child like that, why would you do that to someone else who was completely innocent? And anyone who's oh, he was wearing a vest, he wasn't innocent, fuck you, bro. If people like you got away with that kind of thinking, the entire, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind at some point, you know what I mean? And a guy who was retired and just volunteering on his day off had nothing to do with, sorry not sorry, bro. You raised a kid that stole a car with a pistol and pointed at the cops. Who, in this day and age, who doesn't know what's going to fucking happen if you steal a car and point a gun at cops? Deuces. It's over. World is so fucking crazy. Unreal, man. There's just so much bad, and I really hope we can all get on the same page and start to heal. Because right now there's just so much pain, and I just feel the victim mentality in this country runs rampant, and it's just, have we all forgotten? We all have free will. We all are born with it. We all can go our own directions. We can make our own decisions and choices, but don't ever forget that your choices have consequences. It's just crazy. Like I said, I hopped on here because like I said, I've seen all these videos about people wanting, you know, every single person in the United States, if they're going to be deported, deserves a hearing and a trial, and that's just bullshit. It's not feasible. And I love what Trump's doing because, like I said, he's gonna run for a third term. Like, do you understand? Like, and I'd love to see it, because let him run for a third term and let Obama run for a third term, and let's do it, baby. Let's get it on. I would love to see that. But he's even answered. His lawyers and everybody have told him, like, yeah, you can't really do that. So he's got 4 years, but they're going to be glorious years. He's going to bring interest rates down. Unemployment is going to go down. Inflation is going to go down. Trade's going to go up. Tax is going to go down. Like, he is going to set this country up for success. But I'm telling you guys, do not come to us and just be like, sorry, y'all, the Epstein files are gone. We can't find them. That is, if you think that's going to work, I'm going to tell you right now, brother, like, that is the only thing that could make me stop supporting you. All right? You have sworn that you were going to go through everything. You, Pam, JD, Cash, the SecDef, y'all stood there and said, we're going to go through it, but then we're going to release it. We're going to hold you to that. We are going to hold you to that. So, I'm just, there's an opportunity. Anything you think you might get in the long term by hiding or protecting these people, you're really missing out on the avalanche that'll come once you expose the full and unadulterated truth of how bad. I mean, come on, why is every top tier government, like congressional person, senator, all of them, like 95% of them, they come in worth $100,000 and they leave worth 20 million plus. Like, Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi are they are the two best stockbrokers in the history of the planet. I wonder why that is. We're tired of it. The information age. The villagers are gathering their pitchforks, all right? We've got the torches, and we're coming. Don't tell me these Epstein files don't exist. They exist. It's just, do you have the will to get them and then to turn them over to the public? Because it's not whether or not they exist. It's whether or not you have the will to get them and then to release them. So, again, I always try to end my videos with, like, brothers and sisters in active addiction. I've got, 5-6 years medically assisted recovery under my belt with, like I said, a couple of hiccups, but not in many, many years. You can take back control of your life. Like, I understand. I was the worst kind of piece of shit you can imagine. And I used to think, like, every time I heard someone talk about recovery or getting better, like, I thought it was a pipe dream. Like, I have messed up. I've been doing this shit for so long, and I am in this, you're stuck in this, like, psychotic rotation of get drugs, use drugs, feel better, immediately start to wind down to feeling sick, and it's the never-ending cycle of using. Because if I don't use, I can't feel good. If I can't feel good, I can't function. If I can't function, I can't work. If I can't work, I can't pay my bills. But I can't pay my bills because I'm using all my money on drugs. But fuck it, we'll worry about that because I can't be sick. So I did it for years. I look back on it and I just wonder, like, how did I do that? And it's like, oh yeah, I worked every minute I could, and I did a whole bunch of shady shit too. And it always catches up with you, man. I think maybe 1 out of 100 can be a totally functioning addict with no side effects, or maybe 1 in a million. Like, who knows? Like, it catches up with all of us because it's a progressive disease. And, you know, my favorite, one of my favorite quotes about drugs is there's a, you know, and God, you know, fentanyl got him, Tom Petty. I love, man. Me and my wife saw him in concert about a year before he died in Cincinnati. And I'm so happy we did, because he re-injured a back or a knee or something, and he started taking opiates, and he got some bad shit, and it killed him, just like, you know, just like hundreds of thousands of other people that took something that they either thought was something else or didn't know how strong it was, because this fentanyl is bullshit and it's killing an entire fucking generation. But Tom Petty, you know, he's talking about it. You know, drugs, they just bring around, you know, all kinds of bad people and bad situations. And, you know, one is too many and 100's not enough. And it just brings bad things and bad people. But you don't have any drugs, do you? And, I mean, the other one I love is Jelly Roll, man. He gets, you know, he's kind of being comical, but, you know, I love seeing a fat guy get famous. Go, buddy. I love it. Like him, and who's that big country boy singer? You know, Hurricane. That guy. I can't even think of his name right now, but love seeing fat guys make it. But, you know, Jelly Roll talking about, I should be in bathrooms doing all kinds of shit and partying and blah, 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 and this and that and the other. And it's like, no, like, we literally have to have drug testing kits on the bus so we know what we're doing and it's not going to kill me. And it's like, at that point, is it really worth it? And the answer is no. So you can get help, man. Like, if you can quit. I don't recommend cold turkey or trying by yourself, because I tried it dozens of times and it doesn't work. It just, if you give it an honest shake, like, some people need medically assisted for a little while, some people need it for longer. Like I said, I've been on it for years, but my dose has gone down every year. But I've also said, if I'm on it for the rest of my life, the person I am right now is way better than the person I ever was in active addiction. So it's possible, because I'm telling you, I used to wake up every morning like, shit, I'm awake and I'm doing this damn thing all over again. And you know, you hear it, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I just want it to stop. And we all know people that made it stop. And it's awful. But if you give it an honest shake, it's possible. And I know it sounds like bullshit, and I'm not lying. It's not going to be easy. It's one of the hardest things I've ever, if not the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's like, I joke. It's like, I didn't get a college degree, but I beat heroin. You know? Something, right? But I'll tell you that she's a deadly bitch. And I'm lucky to be here, and I had to fight. And I'm still fighting today to keep that bitch at bay. Because the moment you let your guard down is the most dangerous. So, I'm thinking about y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I love y'all. And even if you woke up today and you failed, and even if you know in your heart of hearts you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to fail, it's okay. Like, try. Think about making the call. I shouldn't be here. By the grace of God and the love of my family, my wife, I made it out of that pit. And you can too. All right? Don't let anybody tell you you can't. And it's never hopeless. There is hope. There is hope. So, I love y'all. This is Jethro. Y'all be good or be good at it. Thanks for listening to my crazy ass rant.